Hi friends, my name's Kathleen and I wanted to share a little breathwork practice with you today. If you can carve out 5 to 10 minutes of your day, honestly even 2 minutes, it makes a huge difference in terms of being able to ground into the body. We're in a time of year, winter, carnival season, Aquarius season, where sometimes the brain wants to take over and start to make decisions for the body when the body might not always be in alignment. Said more simply, you might be tired as hell and need a break. So breath work is a way to move our energy and a way to consciously find rest and digest, as well as to consciously find activation and fight or flight, if you will. So when we can consciously move our life force energy, or in the yoga tradition, we call it prana, then we can start to find regulation, both in our energetic systems, circulatory, respiratory, nervous system, but also in our mind space, yeah? And so the ability to breathe consciously, meaning having a breathwork practice, I am breathing, I know that I am breathing, I am paying attention to my breath, it really starts to stimulate the parasympathetic response of rest and digest, of grounding, and of really just consciously coming back into the body, which, if you're anything like me, a human being on earth, can be really intense in the brain space, yeah? So we wanna bring our energy back into the body by paying attention to the breath. So today we'll practice interrupted breathing, or Viloma pranayama. Viloma, V-I-L-O-M-A, is a practice that can be done many different ways, and today we're going to do it in a very simplistic way. It will be a 3-part inhalation that is interrupted by a breath retention, or a kumbhaka, as the yogis call it. And so one really important tenet of breath work is it should never feel panicky. It should never feel like it's causing us to freak out, yeah? So if you feel at any point in your breathwork practice like it's too much, it's too much. Your body is wise, listen to it. So for our interrupted breathing, our Viloma, and fun fact, Viloma actually is a Sanskrit term that can be translated to mean against the fur, like when you pet an animal against the fur and the sort of interruption it brings to their own stasis. Viloma is this chance of visualizing the breath in the belly, expanding out, then in the rib cage, expanding out, and then in the chest, expanding out. So I'm going to practice once to show you, and then we'll practice it together for a few rounds. So I take a deep breath in, and I clear my breath out. And I inhale, sip air into my belly, expand. Inhale, sip air into my ribs, expand. Last inhale, expand into the chest. And then I open my mouth and let it all go. So we'll practice that together. I recommend being seated with a long spine, either in a chair, on the ground, on blocks, or against the wall. Any place where you can stack the back of your head over your sacrum, or stack shoulders over hips. So together, finding your hips heavy towards the ground, your crown of your head reaching light towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. An open mouth, let go. And now let's begin. Inhale, belly, sip it in, and pause. Inhale, rib cage, sip it in, and pause. Inhale, chest, sip it in, and pause. Open your mouth, let it all go. Keep that moving. Belly, sip it in. Pause. Ribs, sip it in. Pause. Chest, sip it in. Pause. Open mouth, let go. Keep going. We'll do 3 more rounds. Belly, sip it in. Ribs, sip it in. Chest, sip it in. Open mouth, let go. 2 more rounds. Sip it in the belly. Sip it in the ribs. Sip it in the chest. Open your mouth, exhale. Last round, fill your belly with air. Fill your ribs with air. Fill your chest with air. Open your mouth, get totally empty. Now with eyes closed or open, just 3 breaths to observe the effects of your pranayama. Notice any sensations in the body. Notice any thoughts or experiences in the mind. If the eyes closed, allow them to blink open, taking any intuitive movement to wake the body back up to this space. So Viloma, or interrupted breathing, is a great way to learn your lung capacity, especially if you're newer to the breathwork practice, but it's also a really balancing breath. It can be practiced, like I said, so many ways. This is just one way to interrupt your breathing. And breath retention is that really beautiful, critical, slight pause to bring stillness and space to our awareness. So thanks for practicing with me. Hope you have a great, great day.